Good day, Team Telco. We continue on the service delivery training. And one critical aspect as we speak about alignment, as we speak about standards, is the service level agreement. Now, what is the service level agreement? The service level agreement is a commitment we make. It can be to a customer, and the customer can be internal or external. When I say internal customer, it can be another department within the organization. It can be a colleague within the same department. When I say external, I mean the customers, the end user of a particular service from that telecontract as an organization sells. So it's important that we understand that there's a certain minimal expectation from our customers, whether internal or external, which is covered or contracted in what we call a service level agreement. All right, so just to create clarity, to align us, to set a standard, we are going to spell out the telco service level classes and their metrics. All right, so we've got effectively in the SLA category, we've got 7 different classes. There's what we call a critical fault, we've got a major fault, we've got an area fault, we've got a platinum SLA, we've got a gold SLA, we've got a silver SLA, and lastly, we have a bronze SLA. And here on this chart that is shared with you for your consumption, I'll just go through it quickly. We've got a description for the start at the top. A critical fault is a core network affecting element of the network which affects service provision such as internet protocol transit, routers, switches, core servers or hypervisors, power, etc. Anything that causes the core, the heart of the network to become unavailable for service, to become unavailable, can be considered a critical fault. Now, what must we do? The SLA time to restore. The SLA time to restore for a critical fault is 2 hours, no more than 2 hours. That fault type must be resolved within 2 hours. The time to restore attendance window, when do we do it? All right, is there certain times of the day when we will go there and certain times when we will not go there? For this critical fault, the TTR attendance window is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there's no time when we can say it's in the night or it's too late. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., the time doesn't matter. Within 2 hours, we need to resolve and get this thing back up. It's affecting the whole network. It's affecting the core network. The next one is a major fault. What is it? It's considered outages of the core or secondary POPs serving network segments or zones or cities. All right. So this is not the whole net, not the heart of the network. It's a segment of the network. It's a zone. It's a city. And what are we saying? The SLA time to restore there is no more than 4 hours. We need to get that back up. Obviously, a zone or a city is not the whole network, but it is considered to affect a significant number of customers. All right, so we want to restore that as quickly as possible. So this would be like a POP, Waterfalls POP or Roseville POP going down. All right. When do we attend to this? What is the maintenance window? Again, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know at the current season in 2021, we have COVID and shutdown restrictions at play. But nonetheless, we will endeavor to try and get adequate paperwork to ensure that we can meet this attendance 24/7 TTR window. The next one is an area fault. The area fault relates to localized outages affecting a number of customers in a common area or sector of a base station. All right, so if area fault, maybe it's just a small neighborhood. We're talking about no more than 40, no less than 4, but no more than 16 customers constitute an area fault. What's the SLA time to restore is 8 hours. All right, so within 8 hours, we need to ensure that we restore service to an area fault to where we're affecting 4 to 16 customers, 7 days a week. So there's no window again for that. All right. So these are the key service provider related ones. So it's groups of customers, not necessarily individuals. Now let's go into the SLAs as related to individual customers. So for individual customers, this is where we are covering platinum, gold, silver, and bronze SLAs. And let's talk to what each of them are. So a platinum SLA is is the highest reputational value or financial value class of telco customer. That's a platinum SLA client. These customers should have a primary and secondary last mile connection to protect the service and ensure service availability and minimal outages are experienced by that customer. All right, so this is an RBZ if we want to put a name to them. All right, this is a Croco Premier Auto. All right, those are our platinum clients. What's the SLA time to restore? It's 4 hours. So if there's something happens, remember we're saying ideally these types of customers should have a primary and a secondary link. But in the instance where something happens, primary and secondary go off, we want to ensure that we quickly attend to this customer and get them back up and running within 4 hours and no more. All right. The TTR attendance window is not 24/7 for this one, but we'll say it's between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So we run over the standard work day a little bit on this one up to 8 p.m. But it is 7 days a week. The next one is the Gold SLA. Gold SLA, what is it? The corporate and high value individuals and service providers. So service providers would be your Vodacoms, would be your Tandes, all right, and other high value corporates, all right, or individuals. What is the SLA time to restore? For this one, it's within 8 hours. What is the TTR attendance window? It's again 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. All right, so within an 8-hour window between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., we will attend and ensure that we restore service to this group of customers. Next is Silver SLA. So Silver SLA is the general package for all small to medium and small office, home office customers using using the uncapped service, and some who are using the premium capped services like the 165 gig or higher. All right. So this is the SLA group for small to medium or small office, home office customers who are on uncapped service. So this is your Velocity Fire, Velocity Extreme, Super Velocity Fire, Super Velocity Extreme, and those who are using the premium usage-based packages, so 165 gig and higher. All right. What's the SLA time to restore? It's 12 hours. All right, so 12 hours, and we're saying the attendance window. The attendance window is anytime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. For this SLA class. Lastly, we've got the Bronze SLA. The Bronze SLA is an entry-level SLA for all broadband customers. So any other, all 42 gig and every other class of customer by default will have the Bronze SLA. All right, and the SLA time to restore for Bronze SLA is 16 hours. All right, and the TTR attendance window for this grouping is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right, 7 days a week. All right, so this grouping, we will attend to them within 16 hours, resolve their issue, and the attendance window is between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So effectively, that means at a maximum, it will take them 2 full days. It could take up to 2 full days for us to get to them. All right. So these are our telco service level classes and their metrics. You do well to know them. But before we move on from here or end this training, another important aspect is the telco change evaluation matrix. I'll not go through every single line. I'll just pick 2 lines and just describe what it is. So as we attend to customers, there are 3 types of tickets or 3 types of events that may occur. These we classify as an incident, which we say is an instance where the service is not working as advertised or as it's supposed to or as it's expected to. That's called an incident. The second one is a problem. Anytime we have a number of incidents recurring, so in other words, we keep having a breakdown, fiber break, once, fiber break twice, fiber break 3 times on the same customer. By the 3rd time, we must escalate this issue to become a problem. In other words, we need to look a little deeper than whatever it is that we've been doing the last 2 times or 3 times, and inspect and try and come up with a permanent solution. So we call that a problem. Lastly, once we've identified a problem, sometimes and most times there'll be a need for what we call a change. A change is any adjustment to the network as regards to whether it's a new customer installation or it's in regards to a correction of a problem to try and make a permanent solution for a customer. We call that a change. Now, the way we attack or the way we institute these changes must be structured, because most of the time it will result in customer service going down. So in this change evaluation matrix that we have on the screen, what we're trying to address is how we'll go about doing a change and thinking about the impact, how many customers are affected, the notice period, how long before we do the change we need to give the customers notice, and how long that notice is before we do the change, the change window time frame, how long is it going to take us to implement the change, the number of change authorizers, CABs, basically is the people who authorize the change to be done. So your management signatures that need to be given. So the change approval board, how many signatures are required for each type of change, a rollback plan, all right? Okay, if things don't go according to plan, what do we do, all right? We must have a plan in regards to how we then unwind whatever we've done. So that's a critical part of making a change. Then a post-implementation review. All right. So we're saying, okay, after we've done the change, we need to monitor, do we need to look, do we need to review and say, hey, was it a successful change? Has it really sorted out the problem that led to us implementing this change? All right. So this is what is called the change evaluation matrix. I'll just go through 2, maybe the first one and the one for core networks, routers, switches, and servers 64 plus. All right. So let's look at a single end user, and we're saying the notice period to make a change for a single end user must be 24 hours. The maximum change window in hours should be 24 hours, so it can't go longer than 24 hours. The number of approvers, change approval boards, signatures that are required or sign off that's required to implement is 1 member. All right. A rollback plan needed because it's 1 user, not so much, not so critical. All right. Post implementation review, do we need to monitor after the implementation? Maybe not so much. This could relate to a problem. It could also relate to just a general new installation of a customer or a LAN extension or things like that. All right. Let's go to the third one, OLT base station 0 to 64. So the number in brackets, if I didn't mention it earlier on, is the number of customers that are impacted. So single user impacts 1, segment or splitter impacts 0 to 8, OLT or base station 0 to 64, core network router switches is more than 64. All right. So that's the impact. That's the number of users that are affected by that change. So looking at OLT and base stations, notice period, we need to give customers 5 working days notice before we implement a change. What's the maximum change window? No more than 8 hours to implement that change. How many signatures or sign-offs are required to implement that? 3 members, all right. Rollback plan needed. Yes, we need a rollback plan in case things don't go according to plan. Post-implementation review required. Yes, we want to review after we've done the change. All right, so basically that's how you read this evaluation matrix. Maybe just to speak to the CAB, Change Approval Board. So the Change Approval Board is a team, a diverse team. It's not necessarily only technical people. It could be marketing and sales. It could be billing. It could be senior management that would need to it's really the idea is to make sure everyone is aware of what is going on, and secondly that the impact, and that's why you see more members where there's higher impact. So everyone needs to be aware of what change is being done, why is it being done, so that even if customers phone them directly, they are able to articulate the reason for that change. All right. So that's the change approval board. So it's not only management people, it could be customer service supervisors that would constitute part of that board. It could be your billing administrator who would constitute part of that board. Then, of course, yes, different ones from management. All right, so just clarity there. So we've covered basically our SLAs, and we've covered a critical element which does relate to SLA, which is the change evaluation matrix. All right, thank you very much.